Hi Taurus, this is your homework family reading for September. Let me hit the bell. Yeah, that didn't take long. Because I've been kind of having a little bit of a conversation with them about you prior to starting the video. What is going on? That's why I'm about to knock my drink right on over. Okay, for some of you, that's why I'm having problems with this. For some of you, you are being told specifically to call on Archangel Metatron. Some people see him as Archangel Metatron. Some people see him as Metatron. Some see him as one of the Ascending Masters. Some people see him as Thoth and like the Egyptian mythology. But Archangel Metatron is more or less trying to tell me that for some of you, that you're going to need to call upon him. And whenever Metatron shows up, typically for me, that's funny. I'm sorry for laughing. Right before I did the video, or started to do this video for you, a song that Metatron has put in my mind for me to uplift my spirit, was coming through, and I know that's a message from Metatron, and I wasn't putting it together that actually the song is meant for you as well, and that's why he corrected me just then. Okay, let me stop. Let me go back for a minute. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. This is for okay, this is for September. You may have a Scorpio, a Sagittarius, a Pisces, or a Gemini of significance coming in for you, or it may just be of that energetic energy. So I'll check them out, or I'm going to try to remember check each one of them out when we hit the astrology. But like I said, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Taurus signs for all of September. For those of you who have been following me, I usually have been doing it bi-weekly, and I feel like I'm being drawn by spirit to switch that to a monthly video, but to shift it into 2 videos. So what I'm going to try to start doing starting next month, and I'm running out of time, that's why I'm making all of it go into the 1 video right now, is so that I can start doing like a tarot for the month and an astrology for the month. And whatever I get from guidance from spirit, either way, I'll bring to you in those videos. But I'm trying to make it 2 videos for once a month. Astrology, tarot. But right now for September, I've got to shove it all into 1 video because I'm running out of time. Metatron is coming through. He is telling me you need to get happy. The song he is giving me is Hava Nagila. And for me, I just kind of float with this song. I'm like, and this is something he's taught me of rising my spirit, helping to raise my spirit, raise my vibrations, let the bullshit fall away. And this is his way of saying call upon him with your thinking to help you let that bullshit fall away over the month of September. And I really feel like I'm being told September and October. So Metatron would be a go-to for you at this time. He's specifically coming out and saying it. But what they're giving me in energy is that there is some relationship grief, sorrow, shame, and blame. There is some intuition and reason. So your heart and your mind, or your mind and your heart, aren't getting along, and it's causing a problem within your heart and throat chakra, and you're not wanting to speak up what is coming truly from your heart because you're afraid of what will come of some of those changes if you do. However, if you don't speak, nothing will change. If you don't actually speak up, nothing will change. And this is about finding a way to rejuvenate the situation, bring rebirthing and healing into the situation, and the lack of the intuition and trusting in what you need to say is going to cause a problem. I am being given the cat too, over and over again all of a sudden for you as a guide as well. So you may want to look up, as in spirit guides and totems of the cat, what that directly would mean for you, because I know many things, and I'm being given a white cat, which means this is speaking of a higher level of magical intuition, trusting in the higher source, your higher self, to lead you to the right way. But I would tell you to look into the cat medicine spirit guide totem as well, and see if there's a specific message that resonates with you in some form. I feel like you're being a little too retentive about what you're picking apart, and you're allowing it to backbuild a fire and ground yourself that may not be in a positive way for you. And this would also be why Metatron is coming through and trying to tell you, because the song Hava Nagila is more or less saying sing, rejoice, and be happy. And I feel what they're saying is there's a lot of things that are coming and shifting that can really get you off track of that. Rejoice, joy, and be happy, and really start pulling you in a negative way in your head. And that's really gonna really screw up the situation for you and start manifesting in a backward situation of what you really want. So this is why I keep being told to go to Archangel Metatron, because he will help your thinking get better and help put you in a healthier, safer space. And I do feel like this is for September and October, helping you to continue to manifest properly, instead of, as humans, we get in our thoughts, we get in our head, and before we know it, we're actually manifesting against ourselves because we're talking that shit to ourselves. And I feel like this is why he's giving you the warning, because I'm also being given the snail. And the snail typically for me comes in as like the slug, but I'm being definitely given a snail, which is, a snail has a shell over it, which is for protection. It helps protect it, and keep it safe. But what I'm being given is the antennas of this little snail, which has to do with sensitivity, has to do with intuition, and has to do with picking up the vibrations of what truly is going on and understanding that energy as it's coming in and through you. Because what I'm getting is like the energy that's going through those antennas, like the wind that's blowing. So it's talking about making sure you're getting right with that energy. But it makes me think of the slug with the snail, as slugs, when I know they're kind of slimy and nasty, but the point is they're actually quite clean. When a slug goes traveling, it leaves a slimy little nasty mess behind. But that's the point. It left everything it doesn't need behind it. It's not carrying it with it. It's not holding on to that. It makes a lot of sense for you, Taurus, because you have Uranus going retrograde in your planet. In your sign. And it hasn't been even in here fully for like over 85 years. So you don't even understand this energy yet. None of us do. Most of us haven't been alive to really feel what independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom, self-worth, self-value, self-esteem feels like in Taurus, because most of us haven't been alive. And with it being in retrograde, it's going, what is unhealable and what is healable? Really taking a look at it, and that is coming in to your universal first house of your very self-awareness, your personality. Let me move to my houses here in my little notes. To your personality, your awareness, your physical body, your appearance, your view of life, your identity, your image. So you're really going out of these ideas: independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom, self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, image, view of life. Where does this stand for me? Where can I create that heaven within this energy? I'm very patient and stubborn, but I'm willing to do the hard work I have to make what I want happen. But what do I want? And like I said, Uranus being in retrograde is really asking you to get deep and realize the pieces of yourself that's not healable because you haven't allowed it to be, because you've projected that image on yourself and you believe it. Past life karma issues that you're learning to shift. And then how do we actually change this and bring it into a healing, brand new first house, a brand new beginning, a brand new soulfulness, a brand new alpha within ourselves, and grow and mature from there. And it makes sense because the other things that I'm being given really is I'm being given from back in time. I'm also being given the brazen bull. The brazen bull was a torture treatment, and this is what I'm talking about. It was a torture treatment that was just horrifying. But the thing was, it was torture. Uranus being in retrograde in Taurus, you've never felt this, you're feeling it more than anybody. This could be inner torturing of yourself, and this is why Metatron is coming forward and saying no. You need to be looking at the things that make you feel rejoice, happy, sing, help you float, dance, and be happy. Don't focus on the other because it's only going to pull you farther in the wrong direction, but acknowledge the other so you know what to change. I'm also being given the Dilophosaurus, which is really kind of coming in with the it's a dinosaur with your energy right now. And it's funny because it's very similar to what I was being given for Capricorn, but it's the Dilophosaurus. We don't know a whole lot about it because it was one of the first known dinosaurs, and it got its name and it's got its popularity from Jurassic Park. But the thing is the image that we see, the image we believe that we know of the Dilophosaurus when we think of it is because of what we got from Jurassic Park, and that was made up. That was not a real image because the dinosaurs made it very clear that that was not what it really looked like. But it's saying this is really getting into a brand new primitive energy, a brand new growth, a brand new evolution of self. And this is why it is coming forward. It also reminds us that in its energy, it was the ancestor of the ancestors. So this is getting past the bullshit of yourself that you knew you to be and getting to the truth of what you really are. Everything that happened yesterday and every day before, that's past life and it does not exist anymore. The only thing that matters is from this day and moving forward. If you hold on to everything that went against you, it's going to continue to go against you. I'm also being given from back in the Minoans, one of their symbolism, which happened to be a double axe, two sides of everything. Which side will you choose? This is why Metatron is saying stick with him. Stick with his way of thinking. Help him. Ask him to help your thinking. Stay positive so that you can stay in that happy, dancing, rejoiceful, singing way and bring the proper manifestation to you so you don't tear yourself down. Is there anything else? I am also being given the Empress, which is coming in with the Tree of Life, and the very goddess herself. So this is saying to nurture yourself as above, so below, and acknowledge that that's the manifestation that's being created. The Empress has the power to nurture herself. She's learned all of these lessons. The only thing she has not quite evolved into yet is the Priestess. So they're asking you to take that step into that nurturing truth of everything that you are, pull that all forward, but realize what you are creating is above, so below. So what's going on with that mind is what the manifestation will be. Stick with Metatron again. And again, I'm not 100% positive as to, I lost it, as to what that information is about the Pisces, the Gemini, the Scorpio, and Sagittarius for you. But we're going to get looking into that in just a second. I have to look behind me for a moment. But before I do, I was saying that we have Othala, which is sacred space and rooms, which was formed at the end of August, and it's going to be in your astrology right up until the 7th. So this is asking you to get deep with what is sacred to you, to really start looking into what's important to you sacredly, the depths of your heart and soul, because it's going to help get you where you're trying to go. Okay, this is not what I'm looking for. I thought I had it here. You just felt too well. We had the psychic fair yesterday at the Grove, and so I had things moved around so that I didn't lose my little notes. So, okay, you have, like I said, in energy, you have Othala, which is asking you to get right with your sacred space, acknowledge your sacred space, and what it takes to make that sacred space, and is asking you to figure that out by the 7th of September, or to start figuring out and acknowledging it, because it will help project you in a positive way. However, with figuring that out, it's showing you problems that are going against your sacred space in the astrology. For you, this is your 4th house, 7th house, and the 10th house. Okay, your 4th house is your inner emotional security. Your 7th house is the relationships within your life. And the 10th house is your honor and your prestige, or your professional career. So, is the relationships in that outer community working for or against your inner emotional security? And there's going to be some situations going on, and you're going to feel most of that energy through the whole month anyway. It's not going to go away. But what they're saying right now is there needs to be some courage and tranquility coming into your own peacefulness within that community and that larger group, and being able to be yourself, trust yourself, your intuition, stand firm in yourself, and be able to speak your truth. And I do want to say speak your mind, but it has to do with being able to speak your truth in a positive way so that it can stay a tranquil energy. And saying, I'm setting the line. Here's the boundaries. You need to stay over here. You're not allowed to come in this area. That's the boundary. Understand your place. This is what this is about, and making sure you're setting it properly within those relationships, that outer community that's dealing with the social foundations, the financial security, financial foundation itself, honor, prestige. See, there's something you're not saying because I'm getting choked up. And there's something you're not saying to the situation because it's something you're afraid of will go against you, or maybe even make you feel like you're going to lose your job, your honor, be put out in the cold in some way. And if you don't speak up, you're going to end up there anyway. Is basically what I'm saying. This is about speaking your truth so that you can find that inner emotional security of what works for you in here, your home, that you can't get away from. This is the roots. This is the true self. This is the reincarnation and where the karmic lessons are made. But there's something, and I'm saying for some of you, they're telling me that this is actually just flat out partnerships of some form, and you need to speak up. or it's going to have a problem. Okay, with that being said, you have the full moon. You have the full moon that's going to take place. It's actually taking place in Aries, but I'm saying Pisces and Aries because the day before and the day of the full moon, the moon is in Pisces until like the middle of the day. So you're still feeling it in Pisces energy. And then it shifts over to Aries. So this is a universal 12th house and a first house. So it's the end of something, the healing of something, and the beginning of something new as you allow all of that energy to rise to the surface, to be seen so that you can let it go, surrender it, and release it. Like I said, Metatron keeps telling you, you need to stay with the positive. So what's not serving you needs to just be able to be washed away. And I don't know why, but I just see like water washing it away. You need to allow it to go away. For you, that will be taking place in your 11th and 12th house. It's going to be that community again. That's the community and the for you directly, it's the 11th and 12th house. On a universal level, it's the 12th and the first house. So this is definitely dealing with subconscious energies that you are not wanting to deal with. It's the stuff you want to put in the closet, the skeletons in the closet. Let me put all my problems in this box, and I'm going to put it at the back of the closet. Hopefully there's enough dust that will cover it, enough other shit that I could throw back over there, and I never, ever have to discover it again. Nope. You're going to have to discover it. And you're going to have to go through that. But this is why they're saying call him Metatron. This is a time for you to work through this in a positive way and bring the healing in. But you are going to have to dig through some deep shit in order to do it. And it's going to be dealing with the community, those large groups, those dreams, those large groups and those friends. And do they support your dreams, your hopes, your goals, your ambitions? Your self-realization of what and where you want to go, and acknowledge the depths and the truth in these situations for yourself as well as for the people that you are placing in your life. Now that is taking place on the 14th when it goes from Aries to Pisces. Also, on the 14th, you have Mercury and Venus, which are moving into Libra. That's your universal 6th house. I knew it was going to go there. This is talking about realizing the everyday mundane tasks, your daily patterns, your daily routines, and are they serving you or not? Because you've got Mercury and Venus moving into this energy, and it's going to be communicating with those daily patterns, the daily work, your service, your diet, your health, your routines in general, your hygiene, your caretaking for yourself as well as life. This is get up, brush my teeth. What do I do every single day? And this also deals with, our routines deal with the people that are in our life. Because they're part of what we consume. And we consume the energy that we are part of. So is the routine bringing you a healthy life? Or is the routine something you accidentally created over time that's become negative and doesn't necessarily serve you anymore, but you're still doing it and you're not realizing it needs to change? It could be health and diet itself, but it could also be the people and what is your routine. Now let's understand, it's Venus and Mercury are moving in on that very same day. Libra is all about wanting to create harmony and balance. The problem with Libra energy is it wants justice. It really does. It wants to create harmony and balance in these routines. But it wants it so badly that it tends to create it for everybody else and not for itself. And it makes itself be at the back of the line. So where are these routines that you're doing every day, serving other people but not serving you? Because you need to serve you first. Because if you're not, honestly, then you're not the healthiest person you could be. And you're not serving the world and your relationships and your life and the healthiest you could be. So this is saying, where are these routines going against you? And you need to start acknowledging it. so that you can actually bring justice to your life, starting with your daily routine. You're going to be acknowledging that all through the month and into October. Also, you have Haumea and Make in Libra, which is asking you to really, truly pay attention to your collective consciousness on it and the very growth of the lotus flower. Is your routine have so much shit that you're in shit? You're literally in the mug. The lotus flower grows in the swamp. Do you feel like you're stuck in the swamp? Or are you starting to mature and come up and out of that? And this is what they're asking you. Where are you on the growth of the lotus flower? And what on that idea is fitting your routines? Because you need to shift it so that you're out of the swamp. Now you also have on the 18th is when Saturn is going to go direct. And I've been telling everybody that the energy is a little bit whack because it's dealing with everybody's subconscious energy. And it's going like that until the 18th because it's running out of time. Saturn is asking you what's sacred to you. What do I need to do when I go direct? And so many people have got so much going on, rules, walls, boundaries that need to be shifted. Understanding the limitations and the withholdings. Do I have more than I think I have? Do I have more room to work with than I think I have? Or do I really need to be like, no, don't cross this? Or do I have more room to stretch that out? So Saturn is going, what are my rules, my walls, my boundaries that I have to work with so that I can help you get right with yourself? And this is coming in the 9th house, asking you again to get right with your soulfulness. That would be the Sagittarius coming up in this case. Because this, for me, Sagittarius and Jupiter are the higher self. And that's what's going on in that energy right now. It could still be a Sagittarius of significance in your life, but the way that I'm also seeing it is this is asking you to get right with your higher self. Get right with the depths of your soulfulness and what you need. Your ethics, your morals, your spiritual urges, your higher understanding. Okay, it also deals with religion and philosophy, but this also deals with your psychic energy. So get right with it. What are you not supporting, or what are you not standing up for within those ethics and those morals? Where are you slacking and coming to that higher self energy? Because Saturn is about to go direct in that sign for you, which, like I said, is your 9th house, your higher self. And it's going, what part of your higher self are you ready to get to know and start expressing to the world? And are you ready or not? Are you acknowledging it or not? Are you ready to be the authentic you that you are or not? Are you ready to let the world see you or not? And I need to know when I shift on the 18th and go direct, just how much of you are you really ready to show? How much of you are we ready to, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. I need to know so I can set these rules, walls, and boundaries and give you the power that you've always had. But are you willing to claim it? And it's really asking you. I need to know. I'm running out of time. And this is why that energy is feeling this way right now. Because like I said, Uranus is in retrograde, which is at the time ruling your very awareness of yourself and identity and everything else, trying to figure out what it is, figuring out what your rules are, your personal rules. Not the fucking world, yours. And what you desire and you need in life so that you can be you, the authentic you that's deep inside. And the higher self is going, well, are we coming out to play or not? Basically. And Saturn is really picking at that energy, figuring out where to go. On the 18th, it's going to start shifting and really karmically starting putting that into a whole new direction. But understand, you also have Pluto in that 9th house with you, and it's not going to go direct until the 3rd of October. And with that being said, this is speaking to you of Pluto's death, decay, and destruction for renewal, rebirth, and regeneration. Everything that you were yesterday And every life before no longer exists unless you choose to hold on to it. We only care about today and forward. Are you still attached to yesterday? Pluto is running out of time also to speak to that energy of Saturn, and understand Saturn is sitting on the south node, saying you've gotten very comfortable with who you believe you are. But you know better. You know there's more in there. You know a bigger truth. Are you willing to let it out? Or are you going to continue to be who you've been? Because the south node is what you've gotten very good at, but it doesn't fit. It doesn't work anymore. So this is saying, are you ready to step up to the plate and be you? Jupiter is going to be, Saturn is going to be going direct. Pluto is magnifying that energy coming out. So they're both shaking because it's going, would you get this right? More or less. And it's trying to make sure come October, when it comes out of overdrive, all right, we have you going away. We need you to be going now. And it's trying to push you in that way because there's major shifts and changes coming in October. I'm telling you, there's major shifts and changes coming in October. You also have the new moon that's going to take place in Libra, which is going back to your daily tasks and your daily routines. Again, are those daily routines serving you, or are they serving everybody else in this world, but not quite serving you? So, are you living for them, or are you living for you? Is what it's really coming down to. Now, like I said, I was being given Pisces energy. Pisces is talking to Jupiter, which is Sagittarius. For you, this is the 8th house and the 11th house. So this is asking you, if it is not a Pisces of significance, this is asking you within that community and those larger groups, are they supporting your hopes, your dreams, your ambitions? Because you may need to throw and slap some new rules down on those relationships, because it's asking you, what are the rules to the relationships, and are they fairly balanced? What is the joint finances? What is the joint resources within these relationships? Are they balanced? Are you doing all of the work? Are you not doing enough of the work? It's asking you, is the balance within these relationships fair? And are you acknowledging it, and are you putting the proper boundaries on there to make sure that you make them fair, so that it is supporting your roles, your hopes, your dreams, your ambitions, and allowing it to be brought to life, if it is not a Pisces of significance. Now the thing is, let me double check, because I have them set up for 2 different directions, so I know which way of the month I'm looking. I don't have anything specifically in Gemini other than that the moon's going to travel through at the end of the month. But the Gemini is the north, not the north node. Gemini holds the North Star. And the North Star, to me, when I'm being given it from Spirit, because if it's not a Gemini of significance, this is talking about your universal second house. And the North Star is in that universal second house for you. And this, for me, is saying, what is the seed that you are planting? The second house is asking you all about your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem, and what do you value? What is the values in your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem, and life in general? What is the most important things for you to value right now? And it's asking you, are you planting the proper seed to mature and grow what you value or not? And if it's not a Gemini of significance, that is the message. Then I was also being given Scorpio. Scorpio, I think it's just that. Let me just double check. At the end of the month, you have major changes going on, major energies that are coming in and forcing some knowledge and some healing and acknowledgement. Knowledge. Acknowledging the knowledge, of the healing that needs to be made. So it may feel tough, because there's also going to be a T-square at the end of the month, which is going to be going from Saturn and Pluto down to the North Node and coming into that Libra energy where everybody is moving in. And that's coming into those routines. Is asking for the routines from... It's asking the routines, to ask the communication, to ask the higher self, what in the world do you want and need, and are you being honest with yourself? And what you're not being honest with yourself is going to be forced in your face come the end of the month. I'm warning you, because of the way the energy is coming through. If you're not getting true with yourself, it'll be forced for you to get true with yourself. But the Scorpio energy, if there is not a Scorpio of significance that we are dealing with at this time, the Scorpio for one spirit is saying it could be dealing with your idea of your higher self. It could be dealing with the idea of the religion that supports your beliefs of getting to know that higher self. It could be dealing with the ethics and the morals, and are you actually admitting the truth of that higher self. But it also has Pallas there. Pallas is Athena, the warrior goddess. She's also strategic thinking in Scorpio, asking you, are you rebirthing or not? Are you courageous enough to rebirth or not? And it's the 7th house. So it's asking you, what are you birthing into these relationships? Period. What are you rebirthing into the relationships? Period. Hold up. Was it this one or is it that one? Yeah. They're making... I'm just getting over the fact. I don't like to use the past life deck in these kind of readings, but I'm just starting to get over it, and I'm like... I realize that in the past life deck, it brings up issues that the other decks won't bring up, and therefore I'm okay with using it. But when it comes into, like, they bring up Asia or something, I throw that out, because we are using such a wide variety of different people. Vows. What do you believe you are responsible to hold that you are not responsible to hold anymore? What did you make a vow to that you don't have to hold anymore? It's not your responsibility. You're holding on to something that is old. You're holding on to something that, like, you can make a vow of marriage. You can make a vow of silence. You can make a vow of celibacy. What is the vow that you've created in the past that you're still holding on to, you still believe in? That's not anymore. It's not part of this life, but you're still holding on to it. And it's keeping you from moving forward because you're still believing in something that isn't meant for you in this life. And like I said, yesterday and everything behind you is a past life as far as I'm concerned. So where is the vow that you're holding on to that you're not meant to be holding on to? Nope. Nope. I say nope when, like I said, because it could be for some of you, but since I'm doing a general reading, I'm not giving out what those areas are, like Celtic times, Asia. I'm not going to go into that right now. But the next one they're giving you is wisdom. This is the past. This is the future. And you alone have the magic to create this. by realizing what part of this needs to let go of. What part of this you're holding on to that's not serving you anymore. And it might have served you somewhere in your past, but it's not serving you anymore. This is asking you to have hope and faith, in what you're trying to create, and listen to your higher self, your intuition, and allow it to inspire you to move forward, because it is definitely inspiration. It is definitely magic coming in, and you're creating it. But are you creating more of the same vow that's not working for you? It's up to you to create positively. Is there anything else in this deck before we shift? Authority figures. Are you being the authority in your life, or is somebody else ruling your life for you? Are you speaking up and saying what has to be said? This is what we were saying in the very beginning of the reading. Are you the authority in your life for what you can control? Because the only thing you truly can control is you. So is someone controlling you or not? What are you afraid of? And then islet ships come through, because this is their way of saying the only way your ships are going to come in is when you are the one that's ruling your life, not somebody else. But in that very case, is your ego running your life because you're sticking in old beliefs, old patterns, old habits? That's that sixth house again. These old patterns, old beliefs, old habits, and it's part of your daily routine. Is it working for you or not? Which wisdom are you using? The higher self? Are you moving into that higher self, the source energy, and starting to truly evolve and shift and change? Old patterns. It all has to do with being the true authority in your life, not letting the ego tell you that this still has to be this way, so that your ships can come in. The only thing that's blocking you is you. If you're being blocked, considering this is a general reading, they're giving me that information for everybody. Yeah, it was both decks. What else does Taurus need to hear to help them move forward? Let go of the devil. The devil come in the Capricorn energy too. This is flat out talking to you about getting past the self-sabotage. Get past your self-sabotage. Get past the energies that are working against you and bringing your vibrational frequency down and making you believe that you got to stick with this old way. It is not meant to be. It doesn't mean that the relationship itself has got to come to an end, but if you're not being honest and you're not making the shifts, the changes to make patterns right, then most likely it's going to anyway. This is asking you the Two of Cups. The devil and the Two of Cups. Are you truly with the Two of Cups? Or is it sabotage? It's an option. And I do say an option because this could also be asking you, are you getting to know you again? Are you getting to love you again? Are you coming back to you? Or are you not getting back to you because the devil's standing in the way of your own self? Or is the devil keeping you from having the positive relationship that you want? It's asking you the question. It's only you that can decide. And they said stop pushing yourself back, because the more you push yourself back from doing what you're meant to do, is the more you'll be further away from what you want. Then they are giving me the Eight of Wands. This is creating and weaving the new pattern. This is inner nourishment. Understanding your four: emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical. And if they're not in balance, then you're not in balance. Are you balancing emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically what you need That deals with those routines again, too. And what's going on within these relationships. Are you finding the balance? This is active energy and growth. This is also Mercury and Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius is, well, which one was Sagittarius for you? It's the relationship and the responsibilities within those relationships, because I know Sagittarius was brought up as Sagittarius energetically or of significance. So this is asking you, is the relationship and the responsibilities in them? You need to have courageous energy and bring your inner peace into this energy. And if that means you need to create the balance by speaking your mind, then that's what you need to do, because I'm being given it in different colors. And with it being in Mercury, this is talking about the very communication. Is the communication coming out within these relationships and what these rules are? Setting the proper rules within the relationships and the balance within them. It could be a Sagittarius of significance, or it could just be talking about the fact you need that conversation if the relationship is going to continue. But I'm very much, they're messing with my third eye and my crown chakra right now, which means they are telling you you need to listen to your intuition. You need to stay in a positive energy and rise above this stuff. That doesn't mean to let shit continue to go on. That means to rise above it and do soulfully what you know needs to be done, and don't take that shit anymore. Because, what was I just saying? Peace and truce needs to be made. This is the Two of Swords. This is finding the balance. Strength. Strength also speaks to us of the infinity, and you guys know me if you've been following me. Anytime that cheetah speaks, that cheetah, because I don't see it as the tiger, I see them as the cheetah. Anytime that the wands start to show up with the animal, for me that is not a tiger, that's a cheetah, which is talking to us about changing our DNA. And the only way we change our DNA